All right, this is Chef Paul. This time what we're making here is we're gonna make a chowder. Okay, you can make chowder out of anything. Everyone's had clam chowder before. We're gonna do, you've heard of corn chowder. We're gonna do like a chicken Southwest chowder. You can add, Southwest just means I'm gonna make it a little spicy. You don't have to make it spicy. You can just make it chicken corn, or you can just put corn and no chicken at all. But what a chowder is it's got celery and onions, which you have here. Here we have corn. This isn't fresh corn. If it was corn seasoned, the fresh corn is the best. And then potatoes. The potatoes are large cut, and they're kind of just they're in water right now. Why they're in water is so they don't turn brown. These are actually cut yesterday, and you keep them in water, and they stay fresh. If you don't, they turn brown and they oxidize. That's why you keep them in water. It keeps the oxygen off of them. All right, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna start with, just like we did when we were doing the broccoli soup, we're gonna start sweating our vegetables. So we're gonna put our celery, put some celery in there, we're gonna put some onions in here, all right? I'm gonna put that inside, and we're gonna start sweating it. Put that on low, and we're gonna let that go. We're gonna start sweating that. We're gonna let that go for about 5 minutes, and then we're gonna check on it. All right, so we have it, we've been sweating it, so that means I had the lid on here, and it was sweating all our, in here right now we have onions, garlic, and we have our celery, all right? So that's all been sweating. So now that means it's sweating, means it was covered, we were doing it in butter, it was just creating steam in that fat on low. That's exactly what you want. Now I'm gonna go ahead and season it, put a little bit of salt. That's just salt in there. You can season it with whatever you got. There's a little lemon pepper. I have a little bit of like a lime chili I'm going to put in here because I'm kind of going to give it a Southwest flavor. Lime chili. You can do whatever you want. You can just keep it plain. It's up to you. Seasoning there. We're going to keep it going here as it's sweating like that. All right. Good. I'm going to sweat it for another minute, and then I'm going to put the potatoes in. All right, so we've been sweating them now for about 7, 8, 9 minutes. It looks good. We got seasoning in there. Now we're going to go ahead and add our potatoes. So go ahead and add your diced potatoes inside, right? Drained all the water out. You see they're nice and white, and these are a day old. If they would have just been put in the fridge without the water, they would be nice. They'd be brown. So they look perfect. So let that go. We're sweating, getting all that butter on them. There we go. Now we're going to add our stock, right? Because we got to cook them. So we're going to go ahead and add our stock. Using chicken stock here, so let that cook. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing like we did with the broccoli soup. Just gonna let this cook now. So we're gonna let this cook for about, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes. And then we're gonna add roux and everything else to it. Okay, so we're making a chicken corn chowder Southwest with a little bit of chilies in it. So that's what I got here. I kind of seasoned it. You can make this any way you want. Chicken, without chicken, or just a straight corn chowder. But you gotta cook the chicken. So I got this pan really nice and hot. And we're gonna do what we call a saute. Remember in class we said the word saute means to jump. So I gotta make sure that this pan is hot. So when the chicken hits that, we get that nice crust. So I'm gonna let this go here. In that pan, so it's really hot. I turned it off, gotta wait a second. Okay, looks like we're just about there. It's getting hot. You can see it's just about starting to smoke there. We're there. Gonna go ahead and put this chicken in. You can use any type of chicken. I just got these breasts because they're easy. Put them in and let them set. So I'm going to let them sear. So remember when you're cooking, and we're talking about searing and sauteing, what you don't do is we don't shake it. I'm trying to create a crust, so I'm going to let them set. So I'm just going to let them set on high, and we're going to check them in 3 minutes. All right, so I seared it all, got both sides browned. I'm going to add a little lemon to it. I've turned off basically I'm going to roll. I'm using fresh lemon. You don't have to. You can put anything you want. White wine's really good in it. Anything you want. Cookies. There. Oh, this lemon juice. Get the lemons. There we go. That's a little bit. I'm going to add just a little bit of stock, and we're going to let this reduce. Finish cooking it, and then we're going to cut this, and we're going to end up putting this into our soup. Okay, we're back to the chowder. I already added the corn to it, so now we have the corn and the potatoes. And you don't want to overcook the potatoes. Once they get tender, that's good. I added the corn. That cooled down our mixture. Now I can add the roux. Same rule of thumb. You don't want it over. You don't. It's hot, but it's not boiling because you'll end up with lumps. So we're going to go ahead and add our roux. into here. And then what I'll do is I'll mix this inside and it'll slowly start to melt. And that's the key. You just want to slowly melt it or you're going to end up with lots and lots and lots of lumps. And that's what we don't want. So we're going to put this in, let this go, just kind of let this melt. And then I'm going to slowly turn it up. And then we're going to add half and half to it. Because remember, this is white. So right now it's that veloute base again. It's just stock. But we are going to add more. Chowder has more cream in it, or half and half. So we're just going to go ahead and let this mix. Let it mix. It's starting to get thick already. All right, here we go. I'll turn this up now. Let it cook. All right, I'm going to check on it in a minute. All right, so you can see that it's starting to get thick. It's looking like a chowder now. You got the chunks of potato in there and corn and vegetables. There's no meat in there yet. I'm going to make it, like I said, I'm making it a little bit spicy. I'm going to add some jalapenos. Right, so we're adding a little jalapeno to it. I'm making it Southwest, so I'm going to add some cilantro to it. You know, mix that in there. And then see how it's getting that nice thick. Looks good. Add a little bit of a little Tabasco. Like I said, you can do it with or without this. You could just make corn and make it a mild version without jalapenos or any of that. But you can see now how it's getting nice and thick. So we're just about there. So now we're going to check on our chicken and add our chicken and it's done. Okay, so we're down to the end. I've cut up my chicken and we cooked it. Basically, you saw we cooked it with lemon juice and whatever seasoning. You can use any type of chicken or no chicken at all. It's basically a breast. It's been seasoned, it's been diced, it's been cooked. So now we're going to put it inside. And you just kind of mix that in at the end here. I also added a couple tablespoons of cream to it to make it a little bit creamier. And there you go. You're going to have all that in there. And you can see that all mixed. And now we'd serve this, if we were serving this, we would serve this with fried tortillas. We'd do the fried tortillas and we'd serve it with that. I may add just a pinch more cream to it, just a little bit. And there we go. Mix this. Get it all mixed in. And there's your chicken chowder. And I'll show you how you present it with fried tortillas. Okay, so our chowder is done. We have a corn chicken chowder with jalapenos, and we used some chilies, corn. I fried some tortillas on there. So this is your end result, and like you can see, chowders can be anything, any type. It's just with the potatoes and the celery, the onions and all that. So good luck.